Bill, so many people are house poor these days. It's like getting ridiculous. I mean, I keep talking to friends, family members, and they're just struggling because they all know that, I do this YouTube channel and I said, hey, how's it going with the house? They're like, it's great. The house is great. We love it, but we're living for the house. And it's, now I was thinking about it, is like, is it really worth it to just live for a house? Or even some people, their car payments are so freaking high, they're basically working to make a freaking car payment because the cars got so ridiculously expensive.
But you need a car.
Yeah, but do you need a $150,000 car or $80,000 pickup truck?
That's a different story.
But let's talk about it, okay? Yeah. Because I went and looked at some pickup trucks, and they're like 75, 85, 90.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous because they're popular.
Because they're popular. But you could probably get a used one. Maybe it has mileage on there. Maybe you can find a reliable one for 15 or 20,000. Or is that like, no?
What year are you? What? 15, 20. It's got a couple miles on it. Okay.
I don't know.
A couple 100,000 miles, maybe.
Is the car's got that freaking expensive?
Yeah.
But everybody's like working just for basic housing and transportation. They don't go out to dinner as much. I go to some restaurants, and I'm telling you,
they're empty.
They're empty.
Yeah, they're empty. No, I see it too. They go for the early bird special for lack. I mean, that's a dated term, but you know what I'm saying. The happy hours. They go for the happy hours, and when they're running their specials, and then like where it would be the dinner rush, that usually is not there. People are cutting back for sure. I
mean, some of my friends, they're 25-year-old, 28-year-old kids are moving back in the house just to make ends meet.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at it. Silly side story. Somebody recommended that we go to this awesome burger place. It's amazing. It's the best burgers I've ever eaten. Da 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 da. They hyped it up, and I'm thinking, this individual's track record might not be the best for good food. But I'm like, all right, let's give it a shot. We have to try every restaurant. And you know me, I like to go try the new things too from time to time. So we get there. The guy tells us, yeah, the burgers are huge. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we order 2 burgers, 2 fries, 2 soft drinks. Actually, they don't sell soft drinks there. It's only like tea, lemonade, that kind of thing. A little more healthy, right? That was their catch. So we get the bill. It's like $55 for the 2 hamburgers and fries. So I'm thinking, all right, these things are going to be some burgers. Nope. It was a little tiny burger. It looked like a McDonald's Happy Meal burger and a little thing of fries and, regular, 16-ounce tea from the fountain.
But that's what I'm saying, too. It's like everything got so stupidly expensive that, I mean, I feel like we're in a trap. At least the younger generation is in the trap, because now they have to, buy these houses and they want to, and they're just living like some of my friends, their kids, I'm telling you, they're struggling like you won't believe. Like they're going up to their parents that are in their 60s or 70s and saying, hey, could you help us out for this month?
Yeah. I mean, it's a real thing, but there's also something to be said that, really planning, particularly when we're speaking to youth, right? You have to plan. You don't get everything you want right away. And it might not be the right time for you to purchase a house. It's okay to wait. It's okay to rent. I don't care what stage of life you're in. It's
That's
okay.
True. I mean, I agree with you.
Think about it. Because if you're renting, you look a pro for renting. You're renting. Yeah, I guess you're paying somebody else's mortgage. Don't get me wrong. But if something breaks, you pick up the phone, the landlord has to fix it. So if your AC goes out, the water heater goes out, there's a plumbing leak, the kitchen floods, which wrecks up the floor, whatever the case is, that's not your problem. Your biggest problem is your inconvenience for a few days.
And at least you know what your rent is going to be every month, because as you own a house, you don't know what your expenses are going to be every month. Like I could be saying, okay, my expenses on this, I'm just throwing a hypothetical number out. Oh, it's $1,000. But then my refrigerator breaks, and now my monthly expenses for that house was $2,000 because I had to buy a refrigerator.
Right. That's not your problem. You just call up your landlord. Landlord goes, oh crap, okay, and then they put a thing. Now you might be paying more money for your rent, but there's peace of mind and it's a fixed income until you're ready to purchase. And I manage some rentals, and that's what some of our tenants are doing. Is they make good money, but they're waiting. They're learning the area was the whole premise of it, but they're waiting because they were originally going to move out this year, but they're waiting.
But let me ask you this question, okay? I'm going to play devil's advocate on that thing. They're waiting. Okay, great. I don't believe in being house poor at all. I don't think you should get into it. I don't think we'll talk about it more. But they're waiting. So are you saying that things will get better, that they'll be able to afford it more in the future? Or you think that their jobs will make more money? What do you think?
No, they're waiting because we talk all the time. We're more cordial than just business relationship.
Okay.
They're really, really nice people. No, they're waiting to make sure they have enough backup saved to where they're comfortable so that if things go south for a year, they don't have to stress about paying their bills, unexpected medical expenses, things that break on a house. They want to be able to go, look, I've got the money, no big deal. They don't want to continue to get into debt. So they're putting enough money away into savings so that they have a good sized down payment, so they have a manageable mortgage payment, and then they have a nest egg set aside to where they've got a house expense emergency fund.
Well, yeah, like I one of my clients, I just did an inspection. They were buying it with FHA 3% down, but they backed out of this house because there were some issues, but they backed out of it. And what they decided to do is what you said. They decided to rent and wait till they had at least 40% down for a house.
Yeah.
Because they figured out their budget, even though they qualify, okay? They qualify for the ratios, they qualify for the mortgage, and they could just sign a name and move into that house. They knew that they were going to be house poor. So they're like, you know what? It's not worth it to us. And now they're literally leaving tomorrow for a cruise. They're going on a cruise. They're going to go, and they're just, I think
They still have to live life.
They still have to live life. But if they moved into that house with the issues that I found during the inspection, they were already figuring out, well, we could go do buy now, pay later kind of thing, or we could go to Home Depot, get one of the Home Depot credit cards and get the parts to fix all that stuff. But they made the right choice. At least I think they made the right choice.
Well, everybody's choice is going to be different. That's why it's really important to sit down with your real estate professional and make a plan and be honest with them. You know? If you're not being honest with if you ask advice of somebody and then you're not honest and don't give them the full picture, how can you expect to rely on their advice?
Well, garbage in, garbage out.
Right. Exactly. Don't not say, hey, listen, I've got about $400 a month in credit card debt. My car payment's $750. Insurance, we all know, is let's say $380 a month. Which is insane. And, these are some real scenarios, right? So say those things so that you can help make a plan for the house, because there's, when we're structuring a house, there's a balancing act between putting money down, liquid assets down, versus your monthly payment. Because there's a tipping point where just throwing money into it's not going to change your monthly payment by that much, because you can only bring it down so much. And then you don't want to not have any liquid assets. So you have to balance that out and then work those ratios. That's important.
And, and maybe you want a 3,000 square foot house, and you could get the mortgage, but you're going to be struggling every month to make the mortgage payment. Because don't forget, you pay the mortgage and then you're like, okay, you get a relief for a day or two, but then it's back on your mind because you got to pay it, 4 weeks later again,
Right.
So it's more of a situation. Maybe get a smaller house, or instead of being a house, maybe get a townhouse, maybe get a condo. Instead of buying that brand new F-150 or F-250, maybe get an older one just to get you by. Make sure it's reliable, but it gets you to work. Everybody wants instant gratification, and when people talk about, I hear this all the time. And it's not true. People tell me all the time, this is my forever home. This is my forever home. Okay? I hear that probably if I go and talk to these people, especially the ones that are buying their first home or second home.
Yeah.
I ask them, it's like, oh, how long do you think you'll be here? Oh, like, this is our forever home.
Yeah, no.
And they're in their 20s.
Right, and they go, I want to buy. I've had customers do that, and they go, I want to buy our forever home. I just don't see ourselves living in this one. So they go to the next one, the next one, the next one. Okay, this is our forever home. And then I get a call a few years later, hey, we're going to sell. Because it's just not, there are very, very, very few people that purchase their first house and stay in their first house.
What's the average? What's the average time that somebody stays in the house?
Well, now it's about 7 years, 7 to 8 years.
But it used to be 5, right?
Yeah, and then so realistically, you shouldn't. If you're planning on moving within 5 years, you should really consider not purchasing a home.
No,
especially now.
No, not in this market.
No, like if you're going to purchase that home and then you have the money to and the ability to turn that into a rental and then go buy another house, right? That's a different story. But if you're going to be gone in 3 years, there's no reason for you to buy a house. Just doesn't make sense.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Like most people, that you're not going to get the return on your investment to where you can make money on that house in a normal appreciating market like we're in now.
Well, look at the unicorn years. When I say unicorn years, 22, 23. You know, when people were buying houses sight unseen, they were going into bidding wars and all that stuff. Those people are in trouble right now.
Well, if they want to sell their house.
If they want to sell a house, but things happen that you want to sell your house. You might lose your job, or you might get transferred, a divorce, medical issues. There's always reasons to, that'll come up to sell the house.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, I don't see why it makes sense at any time to buy a house that you're going to question the mortgage payment every month, or even buy a vehicle. I know I'm sticking to houses and vehicles because those are the two biggest expenses
Right.
that I see people getting in trouble with. I have a neighbor here, and he bought a really expensive truck, really expensive. And I'm talking about 6 figures. Okay, he pulled it off the lot, and probably lost $20,000, $25,000 value as soon as he drove it off the lot, And then he showed it to me, and he loved this thing. He was washing and waxing it, driving it all over the place. And I went for a bike ride. I saw him getting into his truck. I stopped, and he says, "Jimmy, I got to get rid of this thing."
Why?
$1,700 a month.
Oh, okay.
And he used to get a lot of overtime, and he thought that because he was a tradesperson.
No.
He based everything. He goes like, "Oh, I get overtime. Been getting overtime for the last year and a half. Every time. My overtime alone will make this payment." And then another company bought his company, and they cut out all the overtime.
Yeah,
out of his control.
Right, things that are out of your control. I had a customer probably about 5 or 6 years ago now. Firefighter was approved for more than what he really wanted to spend, but he's like, "Well, I make enough overtime. I teach part-time at the college, so on and so forth." And I had a sit-down heart-to-heart with him, just because I understand the fire department, obviously. And I said, just remember, if for some reason, it's a dangerous job. If for some reason you get hurt on the job, you twist an ankle, tear something, blow out a knee, and you're on light duty, it's not that you can't go and do your part-time job. You're not allowed to work a part-time job when you're on light duty at the fire department because of an on-duty injury. Mm-hmm. Therefore, all that income dries up. And it's not like we're going to work and getting pay. Think about it. Like you can't, and that's if your department allows light duty. You're not guaranteed light duty, which means you may have to take your sick leave.
Right.
So to put yourself into a position where you can't survive off just your typical normal monthly income and rely on the other incomes is a dangerous game. And, I hate to say it, but he was glad because he got hurt in a fire.
Yeah,
it was a couple years later, but he didn't plan on that. And because I still, I stay in touch with him. He's like, "Man, I'm glad I listened to you."
Yeah, I mean, like even before, we were buying this house, we were looking at another house that was bigger. I mean, we had the kids, they were younger. But we were like, we don't need it. I mean, we would have been struggling, we would have been like, okay, the tax on that house is going to be a lot more and this and that. I was like, we don't need it. Don't try to compete with the Joneses down the street or stuff like that, or the vehicles, your next door neighbor has the vehicle, just, I'm telling you, it always comes back to bite you. I mean, my opinion is really, really strong when it comes to like, yeah, you're excited about something, but then, you'll use it a lot at the beginning and then perfect example. Mm-hmm. All right. But the boat, okay? I bought the boat. I was super excited about it. It took me 3 or 4 years. Everything takes me years to
pull the trigger on.
Pull the trigger. I do it, but it takes me years to find the right deal. I found the right deal, bought the boat. I was really, really excited about it. I'm still excited about it, but I was taking it out every day. I haven't been to the boat in 2 weeks.
Right. Like,
I haven't used it.
yeah, it's back to the normal.
It was nice and shiny,
Yeah,
you know?
you got the
and
shiny new toy.
Yeah, new toy. It also is because it's 110 degrees outside, you know?
That
And
doesn't hurt.
It doesn't
Oh,
hurt
man.
or anything. But my point is, don't get yourself in debt. That's the biggest point of this. And if you're planning to buy a house or a vehicle, really plan on it. Don't base your purchase on just the payments because you have overtime or you have a side hustle. That stuff could go away overnight.
Yeah, don't just keep it within your means, really, and save up. And when you save up and you buy whatever it is that you wanted to buy, it feels more rewarding anyway, and there's less stress involved, and you get to truly enjoy it. That's just my opinion.
And house poor, bad idea. I don't see any upside being house poor. I mean, people will say, well, what if it's a hot market and going up? So you're house poor, but you'll increase the value of your house in a short period of time.
What are you trying to do?
What are you trying to do?
You're
Right.
trying to pretend you're an investor.
Yeah.
Do you need a house to live in because it's your house, or are you trying to be an investor because you think you're an investor but you need a roof over your head for you and your family or whoever you live with, maybe even friends, right? So is it an investment or is it a home? Two different things.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Yeah. You really, I agree with you 100% on that and everything. But anyways, I did not ask you guys to subscribe before, so I'm asking you now. Consider subscribing. We put a lot of effort into these videos. And do me a favor, you need a real estate agent anywhere in the country, there's a link below. My phone number is below. Just reach out. I'll hook you up. And watch this video right here. I picked it out just for you guys, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.
Bye.